go, I can't do the YouTube thing right now. It's just not, I'm too.
But you can look at the Q&A in the chat.
Yeah, okay, good. Let's just do that. All right, people. This is terrible. Phyllis found us. Yay. Phyllis, ask us a question before I look any dumber than I do now.
No, you don't.
God. Oh, it's okay. I'm used to it. Live control room is the new way to go live. I could do that. But why is it making me do a whole new YouTube channel?
If you click live stream from your webinar, like from your camera, from just live streaming from your camera itself,
right?
That option will give you the YouTube live streaming as opposed to like having to have some app.
Okay.
Because otherwise.
Okay, that's good. I'm going to learn how to do it. Someone's going to help me, I think. 8. Okay, what you got? You got a question for us?
Yeah, I'm asking Flavia to.
Oh, okay, good.
Share the webinar link, please. Not YouTube. Not today. Okay.
2, 9.
Yeah, we've got the Q&A up, and you can ask questions there, or since it's such a small group, you can also ask in chat because we both have that up.
Okay, sounds good. Here's Morgan Murchison. If I ask, I would love to hear any messages from Erik with my cousin, Alan. I already feel like they are bros. He passed 2 weeks ago after a long struggle. None of us expected him to die, himself included. He had 2 books to finish. Trying my best to be there for his friends and mother who were all worried about as she lost her other son unexpectedly 2 years prior. Oh gosh. Oh, I feel her pain. So, all right. So Erik, do you have Alan there?
He's showing me what he calls, he said, oh, these artist types, they're fabulous. That's what he said. That's his word. His fabulous is Alan's word.
Okay.
Morgan will know. And he's showing me like this really kind of beautiful, quirky guy who's kind of very social when he wants to be, and he says very reclusive when he wants to be as well. And he showed me this image of artists, and he was like, artists are having one foot on earth and the other one on a banana peel, just kind of sliding around, playing with time and bodies and structure, and the DNA sometimes can't handle it. Don't point to me. And basically what he wanted to do was so, like, his path was so overwhelming in terms of the books, but his true path was the contract that he had with mom. And he said, just like with my mom, and then the work is done through mom. When it isn't done, through the child, then it gets to be done between son and mom. And this is what's going on, is that both children want to work with mom in this way from spirit. And Erik says, we can't possibly understand and accept this when it's walking through the forest and looking too much at the trees. We can't possibly see or accept or get a good feeling about this when we're going through this.
Yeah.
So
what is can you go into the contract a little bit more for the mom? I mean, what's the contract all about? Was she there to learn something, to do something? Does she have a new spiritual mission like I did? Well, I was old, but a discovered mission, or what?
Yours has a lot to do with sharing awareness and being a compassionate bridge of consciousness. But he's talking to you, Mom, Erik.
Oh, okay. Well, I was wondering for
Lisa,
Alan's mom.
But he's talking about how every contract is different. So this one is about acceptance between the 2 boys and the mom. And acceptance doesn't mean what people think that it means. It doesn't mean rolling over and playing dead. He says this is not what this is about. So it doesn't mean just giving up on life. It doesn't mean grieving about it forever. Acceptance is something that you learn and teach. And it has to do with clearing shame and clearing guilt consciousness and clearing all these unnecessary things that we have, where we turn it back around on ourselves and say, well, you know, if I would have done this. So Erik says it's about not living in the wouldas, shouldas, and couldas, not living in those.
Yeah.
And living in this space of acceptance of potential, you know, when you just start to wonder about the potential of this situation. So Alan specifically is trying to connect the dots between mom and
Yeah.
sister and another brother and family members, mom, sister, uncle, in that order. So there's specific contracts with those three people personally, you know, for connecting the dots between the two of them that were hard enough when they lost the first one, he said. So when you lose the second one, it's like sometimes there's this tendency to say, you know what did I do wrong? You know, why is there some contract I'm not getting? And humans like to beat themselves up over it. So acceptance is about disconnecting that shame link and reconnecting a forgiveness link, and compassion and connection between the family members is what does that. So these family members at this time need to talk to each other, hold a space for each other, you know, and go from there.
Well, is he doing okay?
Yeah, he's doing okay. He says it was kind of this thing that he always thought that death would be a trial by fire, like walking through fire, that it would be so hard. And he really didn't want to do it in his conscious state, in the ego.
Yeah.
You know, but the higher self, we love people and we do things for people that are things that are just beyond what we could possibly conceive of, when we love our loved ones that much. Erik says
Okay.
things that we just don't understand and that they don't understand, for these contracts, for these lessons, for that growth. And it's not possible for him to explain it to you when you're still grieving. And he's not talking to Morgan, he's talking to mom when he says that.
Okay.
He's not going to get it right now.
Yeah. All right. So Phyllis asks, what do I need to know about right now about my spiritual journey? What do I need to do? Are you the Phyllis I know, Phyllis?
He nods.
Okay, good.
Okay. It's not about doing. Humanity has that entirely backwards. It gets there, but it can't start there. Purpose is not a finish line. And the moment you think you get there, it's going to shift and you have a whole new race. So he said, what I want you to do, Phyllis, is to stop doing and to start feeling, start breathing. And what if you could consider that your purpose is how you feel in every breath, in every moment that you feel love, in every moment that you feel good. And yours specifically is a feeling purpose. It's all about this. So yours specifically has to do with discernment, which is a God mind, God in your mind, God in your heart. It's this. And he said, I don't mean God like a religion. You know what I mean? I mean universal. But I had to say God for this person because he says there is it's going to rub her like this. And he like rubbing her the wrong way purposely. He's like, I used that word on purpose for you. I'm going to use the word God. I'm going to use the word love. I'm going to use the word Jesus. I'm going to use the word Lord. He said, and I'm going to do that on purpose. And I'm going to keep doing that when I talk to you until you get rid of the thoughts of these paradigms being anything but just a specific way that people learn. Who cares if they learn from church or if they learn from Buddha or if they learn from a shamanic circle or if they learn from aliens? This is about you being discerning and choosing people that can help you follow your own discernment and trusting yourself to choose to allow connection personally with other people. He said, you, Phyllis, you do like this, boom. And he put up this big shelf, this wall, and I felt it, and it was really hard. So
Wow.
he said, I want you to stop doing that. That's not discernment. That's your ego not wanting to receive love. That's not discernment. You're learning how to receive love, but when to say no and when to say yes, and when your body says no and when your body says yes. And he says, it feels like this. You know, it feels like you don't know, like energy's coming and going and you're trying to choose what's right for you. So at this point, choose it. You can't make a wrong choice unless you keep blocking people out.
Ah.
So just because you've been betrayed before doesn't give you the right to not receive love. We're here to receive love, all of us. And discernment is not about blocking people out until you feel the right thing. It's about feeling the right thing all the time, and then really understanding what your body's trying to say, and that no means love too.
Wow. That's cool. Very well done. By the way, I love you, Erik, very much.
He said, I love you. Your numbers for this week are 313.
313. Doesn't sound like a lotto number, so forget about it. I'm kidding. Okay, so let's yep, it is you. Okay, good. And also Phyllis wants to know if she has made correct choices with her brother. And then we're going to have an anonymous attendee talking with us.
I'm sorry?
Well, she wants to know, have I made the correct choices with my brother?
Okay. He said, in this case, your body said no the whole time, but you kept saying yes. The thing is with you, you don't often say no, and you're learning to, but then when you started to learn to, you're like, no, 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 no to everyone. But that is the right no, and you know that already.
Oh. Okay. All right. Will I have more close encounters with UFOs and their occupants? Ooh, do you want that? I just always have this like vision of a creepy gray alien. I wake up, open my eyes, and there it is standing right next to me in bed. It's like creeps me out so much. But okay, I do. It's just like a weird obsession. So, okay.
Yeah, so he has a lot to say about this. Give me a second. Okay. So there's this difference between when we first start seeing them, which in this anonymous person's experience, it wasn't a good first experience, or second, or third, or 15th.
Oh, wow.
So when you go from that.
Uh-oh.
Are you there?
Sorry.
You good? Okay.
Oh, no. Wait, hang on. I actually got on live chat, but now I can't hear you. You hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good. All right, sorry about that.
Yeah, you're good. I hear you.
Multitasking. Mama's got to know how to multitask. I can bounce checkbooks, spank the kids, have sex, and do it all at the same time.
Oh,
not that I do any of those anymore, but anyway. Yeah. Mama got game. All right, finally did it. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for putting up with me and trying to figure this out. But I'm sorry. Let's talk about aliens.
Hi. We're talking about UFO experience and extraterrestrial activities. And Erik just came in and said, for those of you who are having this experience where it didn't start out so great for you.
Wow.
I want you to understand that it's not a matter of trying to be resistant to it, because that is a law. Universally speaking, you have universal laws. Every universe has universal laws, and we have one, and it is about resistance. And when you resist something, that situation persists, because the universe doesn't hear no or not. The universe just hears, I will, and he turns your statement around, because your question is, will I have any more close encounters with UFOs and their occupants? And the question is an inquiry that says to the universe, I will now have more close encounters with UFOs and their occupants. You just commanded that for yourself. You just put that out there. Don't question what's going to happen to you. Command what you want for you. If you want it, don't say, no, I don't want it. Just stop saying it. You're putting attention, that's just where energy is, and it flows in this way. And you put attention towards it, and then it happens. So that's on the surface. At a deeper level of this, what if you just accepted it and said, well, there must be something here. Okay, then what? It's not stopping, obviously. It only stopped for a moment. And when it restarts, then what? Because it will. If you're questioning, you're wondering, which means you're putting attention to it, which means it's going to happen. Now what? What are you going to do now? So that's a period of time when you stop resisting, because it's not going to stop happening. Obviously, if it's happening, you created it. So why are you resisting it? You're scared, it's painful. Get past that and ask yourself, what is it that I'm meant to learn or love or forgive? Learn, love, forgive.
That's awesome. All right, I got I'm writing them down because the line goes so fast with the chat book live, but somebody wants to know, um, about deaf people. Why have they chosen such a difficult life? And I actually think if you search for the word deaf or deafness on the blog, the Channeling Erik blog, we do a post about it, but can't be sure. Okay, so
He says
Erik,
you're right.
what about that?
Yeah, he says you're right on that, that there's one. But he also says, you don't want to listen to everything that's external. You want to hear yourself from the inside out. And you want to hear in a unique way. And people think that deafness means that that person isn't connected, but they are so connected. He said, have you ever watched deaf people in their communities talk to each other? Before they even lift their hands to use sign language, they know what the other person is going to say. They are so connected because they are connected to each other's frequency, which means they feel
interesting.
Say before the sign language even happens. You'll see them laughing because they know that that person's going to sign yes or actually.
Oh my God, that is so cool.
No.
So they can become sort of telepathic.
Yeah, yeah.
So they got something over us for sure. Good.
Yeah.
Okay, here is another one. Good morning. I'll take three from and then three from the other for Q&A. So, good morning. I have a question. My dad passed away. His name is Chandra Sharma. Does he have a message for me?
Let me see.
I'm sure he does.
Where did you see that? Is that on YouTube?
It's on YouTube.
Okay.
The person that is NITU and then CH. So GYANDRA and then Sharma.
That's the person who's passed on. That's
yes, the last one I said. Yeah.
Is that the father?
Yes.
Okay. I could tell because he's standing. Father on dad's side. Okay. Oh, that's pretty interesting and recent. So there is a lot of, Erik said there's a lot of family-made controversy. So what that means is what some of you like to call drama around a person's passing. And when that happens, it's like the person wants to pass this way. No, they want to be this way. No, they want to be that way. Let me just tell you that he says he didn't mind if it was any of those ways. He was just ready for you all to let him go. So thank you for being the only one to know that I was okay no matter what. And that now the person's talking, that I was okay no matter what. And you held firm with that, trying to understand that I was really not as concerned about pain and suffering and things of that nature. I was just ready. It's what her dad said. I was just ready. And there was a lot of controversy over whether or not I was ready because of the nature of the passing, and I was ready. And Erik said, there's no way to not be. If it happens, your soul is ready. And there's some mild circumstances. Mild's not the word. What's your word? There are some extenuating and very moderate circumstances where you can perceive that a person isn't ready, but essentially speaking, if they left, they're meant to go.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's see. Bella wants to know, will I get a job? And not my Bella, my Yorkie, but Bella, hello, will I get a job with this condition? Which job, city will I taking homemade kefir help me? It's not kefir Sutherland, I guess. It's kefir, the yogurt drink, instead of antibiotics. So she got a condition. How will she take care of that, first of all?
Oh, Erik. So Erik and I have this thing where when I'm about to challenge something that's hard for me or triggers me, he says, CYF, CYF. And he goes like this around my face. He goes, whoosh. CYF means contain your face.
Oh my God. That's so funny.
He's been doing that for a long time with me.
Oh.
That's one of the things he first said to me when I was working with him. He's like, it's over your face. Stop being triggered. Just repeat what I say. It's going to be okay. I get
That's
like
so
really
cute.
emotional because I care.
Yeah. 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 Of course you do.
And I'm like, oh my God. So he's telling me a lot about you, Bella. So in this situation, God is not a not. Your body is God too. And your condition is God expressing through you to get you to honor it, as opposed to continually trying to accept something out of your realm when you're meant to be resting right now. So if you were accepting a job within the realm of your heart space and your purpose and your consciousness, then your body would comply. You are looking at something outside of the realm of what you truly feel to do. And that's not honoring the body or your spirit or God working through you. The universe can't work through you that way, which is the body's way of saying no. When you gave it antibiotics, it didn't like that. If you give it kefir, it doesn't like that. So you need to look at what you're trying to do that is out of alignment with how you truly want to feel in your heart.
So maybe get the job that really sings to your heart. Follow, instead of just, oh, I just want to make money. Is that what it is? Like, is that what you're saying?
Desperation is actually a killer. It's like
God, yeah.
number one killer in the United States right now, whether you're desperate for love or whether you're desperate for money. If you are desperate, you have expectations, and expectations are death, he says.
Yeah, that's a big blocker, energy blocker.
So basically she feels desperate. So she feels like she needs to do something to survive, and it's not so far off. He said what she's trying to choose is not so far off of purpose that it would say the body would completely shut down, but it's only a little bit close, which is okay. But you're pushing yourself to do something too soon that your body isn't ready to do. There has to be another way. He said, so what if that way isn't the job that you think? What if that way is walking a dog or watering plants or house sitting or, babysitting a cute little child? Like, what if that way is something, teaching an art class? What if that way, maybe it's not the most money in the world right now, but this can't be about that. Humans think that they need so much money to survive, and that's what culture has conditioned us to believe, and it's not true.
But if you're in alignment, even with a lower paying job, for some reason, abundance does come your way.
It does come, and it may not be with that job, but it'll start other ways.
Yeah, exactly.
So no matter if she takes this job or not, which he says is not going to be withheld from her, she's in enough alignment to get that job, but then her health could cause her to want to leave it if she doesn't really go in here and start feeling and then doing things, but feel how she wants to feel, whether it be at that job or at home or in hobbies and goals and connections with friends. And it's this that's missing, which makes it any job fail. So you have to carry that into a job, even if it's not your dream job. So it's not about finding the job that is just perfect. Otherwise, we would all, he said, you would all be just screwed. He said, just screwed.
Oh my God.
American jobs are not perfect.
Was I channeling Erik? Because I got in my head when he was talking about expectation is a big blocker. It's death. He said it's a cock blocker. I channeled that. See, I don't think that would be something I would say, but it says a big cock blocker. So sorry if any kids are listening, but
it's true though. It blocks relationships. It blocks sex. It blocks connection. So that would be too. And you heard it. You heard it right.
Oh, good. Sorry, Pamela. All right, let's see. Got one from YouTube Live. I have a question for Erik. My dad, Peter Craig, passed away. 2 G's on Craig in 2013, and I just want to know how he's doing and if he has anything he wants me to know.
I gotta pull out my board. Yeah, when I pull out the board, there's a lot.
Oh, wow.
Light gave me these, and I just write everything I want, and then I can just erase it. It's beautiful.
That is so awesome. And it saves paper. I'm going to get me one.
So good. And then I'll have to crinkle up paper and throw it away. And
Oh, I know. I got Post-it notes, little crumbled up Post-it notes everywhere.
where is your desire? This is Peter talking to her.
Okay.
You're looking for creativity and you're wanting to grasp it. And you say that Earth and your goals are making you lose it, but that's not true. You just lose focus of it easily when you place everything around you of utmost importance and your desire is of utmost importance. That's where your creativity is. So you know love. You know, like that.
Wow. That's
That's
awesome.
already know love. Trust yourself to know it when you see it, know it when you hear it, know it when you feel it. One who knows love knows it because every cell of their being lights up within the presence of that love, and it is undeniable. And he clicked my hand like that.
Oh, that is cool. All right, so I'm going to write another Post-it note. I'm going to put whiteboard. Get whiteboard, Elisa. Lucas, my son, used to have this big old whiteboard on the easel. As we were eating dinner, it would be behind him. All of a sudden, he'd put down his knife and fork and start writing on all these chemical equations and get back to eating. It's like, what? I gave birth to that? Or sometimes it'd be mathematical equation. Weird. All right, here's another one from YouTube Live. What dimensions do ETs live in? Of course, we're ETs too, but so yeah, where do...
He said, put your pen down, and he moved my hand very forcibly.
Oh.
With love, though. So he said, YouTube, he says, YouTube, I want you to hear me. It's in every dimension. You are the aliens.
Yeah.
You are that.
But we're not the small, creepy grays.
No. But you start to deem yourself as being separate from that, or better than that, or lesser than that, or scared of that, or more powerful than that, or something than that. And it's just this complete separation of everything. And I'm not saying they're nice and warm and fuzzy, and you're going to invite them into your bed at night and say, hey, you know, he said, I'm not saying that. You know, they're there to teach you boundaries and how to say no as well. But just, you should probably be more scared of human beings than you should these other things. So they're everywhere. So
well, where do the tall whites live? I'm sorry to interrupt you. Like the tall whites.
He said they are primarily 10th and 11th, 20th and 21st. So they are unique consciousness that just don't have the same type of bodies. They're shape-shifting in and out and in and out. So they can't hold form, which is why some of you see them as columns and some of you see them as tall with bodies that are beautiful white hair, and then some of you see them as just inexplicable, like you can't describe it because you haven't seen anything like it before, and your brain goes, what the fuck?
That's my boy.
Yeah, so when your brain goes, what the fuck, stop trying to make it look like something that you can identify.
Okay, that's true. Okay, on the Q&A on Zoom, we have from Anna Luisa. I won't say your last name just in case. I was diagnosed with bipolar in 2012, and I was evaluated in 2016 with major depressive disorder with psychosis and anxiety by doctors. I want to know if I really have these or not. Yeah, there's some people, I mean, there's some people that are supposed to have schizophrenia because they have auditory hallucinations that are just channeling. So yeah, so with Ana Luisa, what is going on in her case?
In your case,
what does she need to do? Energy. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You can't contain all that energy. It's been hard for you to know how to be in a body. He said, so your body is like a Lamborghini or a Bugatti or a really incredible car. And he's showing me these cool cars, and then he's revving the engines. He's like, you want to get in it? I'll drive you around. And I'm like, yeah. Oh. Speed. Like a lot of people wouldn't see that. Like I'm the skydiver and it's crazy. You wouldn't think that of me. He loves that about people who can just like trust what they feel. So he loves that you can begin to trust that you are not what a doctor is telling you, that you're questioning this, because you never stop questioning, he says. So your body wants to get in, like it's like this car that you don't know how to drive and you finally are getting the driver's manual. So stop, when you're depressed, you park it in the garage. And you're like, oh, I'm not good enough to drive that, or you know, worthiness has to do with this. When she gets depressed and she goes down and all the energy sinks because she's not driving the fabulous, eloquent, car that she's been given to her. So he says, you've been given this complicated, powerful machine. And then when you drive it around, you don't quite know what to do. So then your foot goes whoosh on the gas. And then you get upset when it runs into a stop sign or a tree. So essentially speaking, know how to drive the car. And in your particular case, it's the body and the mind that I'm talking about. So you are incredibly full of energy, and it's just everywhere.
Well, what should she do, Erik? I mean, because sometimes it interferes with just functioning in the real world.
I want you to meditate. I want you to eat right. I want you to put down drinks and food that don't serve you. I want you to manage addictions. Addictions are the primary cause for these alleged disorders. All they're trying to do is get you back into yourselves.
That's right.
I just want you to stay functional in that basic way. It's about your breath and calming your mind and being able to contain your own energy, exercise and eating proper foods. This is the blueprint to the body and the mind. And it's not that complicated if you follow this blueprint. Then every disorder you could think of will disappear from the mind.
That sounds good. Very well said. All right, gosh, I'm so overwhelmed by all these questions on the YouTube Live. I know we're not going to be able to get to them. It makes me feel so guilty, but not that guilty. Okay, so let me see. All right. My daughter has CRPS. Can you ask Erik what medicine can help her? That's chronic regional pain.
He says her body feels like fire. So
yeah. Oh yeah. What about LDN? Will that work?
Ow. Okay. He said, Pamela, don't take
it. Don't take it on.
Channels do this. It hurts. So the cells feel like fire. My face is getting hot.
Oh.
And he says, this is not something that allopathic care knows what to do with. So stop seeking. The AMA can't help you.
Oh no.
They never can. And Mom,
they just put you on drugs that.
He said the AMA can help you, my friends. It's just not going to work. You can only do that if you're also using an integrative approach. You can do a little bit of it, but at some point your body will just stop you and say, I don't want that anymore. So you've already done that. He said she's already gone down this path, and they virtually said, we don't know what this is, because what it is your cells are not being properly signaled by your nervous system. So this is a problem in the brain. This is in the amygdala. So essentially speaking, you have to find out what is in your belief system that's making you want to feel this fiery energy. There's normally with CRPS, it has to do with uncontrolled, untempered, suppressed, repressed anger. Oh, you muted, you're gone. What happened? Why can't I hear you? Hey, I can't hear you. Hi. No, what'd you do? Oh no. Can you guys hear me? Can someone type and let me know they hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Oh, can you guys hear Elisa? They can't.
My head. Okay, maybe that works. Can you hear me?
Yes, that works.
That works. Okay, I don't know. Maybe it's my headset.
Okay.
But who knows? You never know about me. Yeah, but look up CRPS. Look up that, maybe spelled out, against LDN, low dose naltrexone, because that works for a lot of stuff.
That's one of the things that it does work for, and allopathic medicine won't help you in this, but he says Mom's right. That's one of the things. And he's going back to the same thing that he talked about in the last channeling Erik that we had together, where he talked about, you haven't. He talked about demethylizing, or but he also talked about why, and he said we didn't get a chance to get into it, so he will now. This comes from the genetic predisposition towards something called MTHFR. So M as in man, T as in Tom, H as in Harry, F as in Frank, R as in Robert, MTHFR. The MTHFR genetic mutation is becoming more and more common.
Yeah.
And it causes that need for us. There's too much methylation in the body, and it causes us to demethylate. We need to detox in that way. So that will help your pain, but it doesn't completely cure the condition when you demethylate, but it's closer. You're getting closer towards understanding when you let yourself feel what you're supposed to feel. So I really relate to this belief because it was one of mine personally. But what he's saying is the belief that causes it is I am too intense, I am too much, I will not be accepted. So you are looking for acceptance of yourself and from others. So acceptance does not mean validation. So stop looking for approval and validation from yourself and other people in your life and just go on without it and see how that feels. And I bet you the fire will start to, it'll go down to a something.
My your brother Lucas is so busy with full-time school, full-time work, and they have big projects. He's a project coordinator. And I asked, well, what can he do about the stress? And she wrote on the e-board, it's like a Ouija board, primal scream. So I said, oh my God, I've been doing that. But there's only so many safe places you can do the primal scream. But anyway, what can she do about
fuck that safe place. Create your own safe place and scream anyway, Mom.
Yeah, I don't need to scream. I've done enough screaming at the kids all through my life. And I never was a real screamer. Okay, answer. Okay, Indira, yesterday in my meditation, apparently Erik jumped in my mind. Very jovial and full of energy. Oh, yeah. And said, Erik, question mark, there was something he wanted to tell me. Then I connected with Jeshua's energy. Maybe Erik just wanted to say hello. So what's up?
He said, or maybe I just wanted to jump in just to connect you because I am a connector. That's what I do. I will jump in just to connect you to the being that you actually wanted to connect to. That's one of the great things I'm here to do, is to be a bridge of consciousness between people and what they think is external.
Wow, that's interesting. All right, Isha, hi there. Like everyone else, I want to know my purpose in life. Feels like I'm wasting my time and doing nothing useful. What shall I do?
He said, well, stop that. It's kind of like when you go to a doctor and say, doctor, this hurts when I touch my elbow like this. And the doctor says, well, stop doing that.
I know, I've done that before.
Yeah. So, right. Do you do that with your patients?
Don't go in that weird position or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So why are you twisting and contorting yourself to be wasting your time and doing things that just drain your soul? And don't tell me it's because you need to survive. That will kill you. Survival mechanisms kill you. They don't keep you alive. You're not really living. So what you're here to do has something to do with understanding creative desire when it comes to movement and dance and expression in this way through the body. So what are you looking to do? Are you looking to choreograph something? Do you need to move your body? Do you need to teach others to connect and move to their bodies? You have a special fascination with animals, particularly very, very high frequency animals like horses and wild birds, he says. So there's that. There's something that she could do with that, like birds that come through these animal sanctuaries, and they're, something with this. And that's the action part, but you're not going to feel your purpose no matter if you are aligned with the action part, if you continue to deny yourself your passion and your creativity and your desire, just for the sake of, quote, survival, quote. What does that do when you do that? It's like you're cutting off a part of your heart and throwing it to the world, and the world will eat it alive because the world's crazy. And then you're like, why do I feel dead? Why do I feel I'm wasting my time? Because you are. So how do you want to feel? Don't ignore that.
Interesting. Listen to your heart, people. All right, I'm going to skip Q here and answer what I think is important from Amanda. I lost my 3-year-old cane Corso Nero, Nero, over a week ago, unexpectedly. Oh, God, I was heartbroken. Was this in a spiritual contract? And if so, what was I supposed to learn from him? And also, is he happy now? Well, of course, everybody over there is happy.
You're learning it now. Sometimes, Erik's saying, sometimes when we lose children, in particular, we won't know that during the grief. So right now, you give yourself permission to just feel what you feel. But essentially speaking, with Nero, he's telling you that it's about becoming the innocence of a child. You spent your whole life making sure that I was comfortable, that I was loved, that I was seen, that I was heard. And the only thing that I wanted was for you to feel that way. and for you to give yourself permission to feel as a child, to connect to your own innocence and play. So it has something.
3-year-old, boy, that's tough to lose a
It's
3-year-old.
tough. It's tough. And innocence, connecting to your joyful innocence and things of that nature, that's what he was there to teach you. And you will feel that, but it's really hard to feel that during grief.
Yeah, it's true. Well, how's Nero doing right now, Erik? And are you taking good care of him?
He's showing me him playing with plants and pulling up, looks like weeds, like playing in plants in the ground, and like pulling them out and laughing, and then planting seeds. He says, so it's literal and metaphorical, it's everything. And he really liked to get his hands in the dirt. He really was like one of these nuts, just like any other 3-year-old. Like he really wanted to be dirty and in the earth and in the sunshine all the time. And he really loved flowers and plants and dirt. He's showing playing with a little animal, just like a family animal. He wants to play with this animal, and this animal is there and guiding him. So he's just playing.
Okay, that's so cool. All right, Josephine on YouTube asked, what am I supposed to do, move or stay?
What if there isn't a supposed to? You're in between for a reason. Be where you are for a reason, and then you will know exactly when you know and not a moment before. You're not comfortable, but sometimes just because you're discomforted doesn't mean you're meant to just run away. As Erik says, she just gets uncomfortable and she's tired of being uncomfortable and she wants to bolt. Erik's like, she wants to get GTFO, like get the fuck out. And that's not always what we should do. But in the moment, if you're there in a place where you're uncomfortable, you could stand to just ask yourself, why am I so uncomfortable? What boundaries need to be applied? What self-love and self-worth need to be applied? So this is not about going or staying. It's about being in your body and trusting how you feel and trusting that you are safe and taken care of, and that it will be time to go. And you know it will be time to go. You know in the deepest part of you that you're not meant to be there. But does that mean you need to bolt and put yourself in an unsafe situation simply because it's hard? Not quite there yet. And you'll know how to make this happen for yourself when you're ready.
That's good. All right, so somebody asked, does Erik talk to everyone? Of course, that's true. He can talk to, I mean, any spirit. He's not special in that regard. Any spirit, they can hear everything everyone says, and they can split themselves up in infinite consciousnesses that are completely whole. So you can just, because maybe they need a second opinion, Erik, is that a yay or a nay?
Can you get the question for me again?
Yes, it's like, can Erik talk to everyone? And another person asks if, well, just go ahead and answer that one.
He said, I can, because if you give yourself permission to accept what you actually think and what you actually feel, and when you are being authentic with yourself, you can talk to me. If you're lying to yourself, it's harder.
That's true. All right. I've been in pain. This is from Joanne. I've been in pain many years. Will I finally get surgery, and will it help?
Yes, and yes. And he said, you know, I'm not, just because I said the AMA can't help you, I meant primarily with medicines. There are times when you need help in this way, and you know that, and you know it will happen. And there's something that also simultaneously, there's something that your body wants to fucking tell you and you don't really want to hear it. You're so connected to wanting to feel better, which is completely understandable. Everybody gets sick of feeling like, gosh, you're making me go. He said, everybody gets sick of feeling like ass all the time.
Oh my God. Well, it's better than smelling like ass, I guess.
He said, so I see where she's coming from. And I can see why she feels this way. And there's something that her body's trying to tell her that she's just like, fuck it, I'm tired of feeling this way. So I just, you know, fuck you, body. I just want to feel better. He said, so that doesn't help when you guys get in that place where you just want to ignore it. What is your body trying to tell you? Ask it, talk to it. It has its own consciousness, and every single organ will talk to you, especially your back.
Listen. Just quieten your mind and listen.
Yeah, he said her back was a lie. So he said, especially in your spine tells you about every single organ. So your spine will tell you everything.
Wow.
Right away.
Hey, Pamela, since we started late, can we just go over, ask a couple more questions or no?
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, we can.
Okay. All right. Kathleen asked, I just had a dear friend pass a month ago at 59 from pancreatic cancer. Does this amazing guy have any messages for his family, my best friend, and her children?
Did she give a name?
No.
Because I want to make sure I'm hearing the right person right now.
Okay.
What is her name?
Her name is Kathleen. So Kathleen, can you type in the name of the guy that died?
No, we can get it. I just need to push my spirit guide. You go there. Here. Okay, which is really hard to do for me.
Oh, Steve.
Thank you. We have him. He was saying that at the same time, so that's definitely.
Oh my gosh, awesome.
Yeah, so we definitely have him. He says, there's a unique thing with the pancreas, and it's about like this deep mythological mystery, this deep etheric essence of oneself. And it's about accepting the sweetness in life and feeling worthy of it.
Diabetes too, not being able to digest the sweetness of life.
So the pancreas does modify and give out and choose to give or deny that insulin, and insulin does represent that sweetness and love. So how much can someone accept their own worthiness and receive love? It's about like they're innate givers. People who have are suffering and have suffered from that are it's almost to their own detriment. Like he said, they're just givers of love. It's going in this direction, but it's not coming in this direction very easily.
Oh yeah,
it's
not a flow.
Yeah, and they're also very cerebral. So all the love is kind of like up here, and they're geniuses. So it's up here, and they need to take it and pull it into the form and pull it into the heart, and just kind of stop focusing on taking care of everyone else and just pull this in here a little bit more.
Well, does he have any messages for his family?
You did great.
And her children.
He said there was some question over whether or not they took care of him properly, and he said, Steve says, you did fabulous. You did great. Congratulations. He was really happy about it. He said, I just wanted to, he's joyful. He's laughing. There's a powerful sense of humor with this one. And he said they just did such a great job.
Oh, that's awesome. Any message for the children? I mean, well, my best friend and her children.
For the oldest, dance it away. Dance it away. When you're thinking about me, just thinking about me watching you dance. And don't worry, I won't laugh this time when you're dancing. I will say it's good because it is good. And I'm sorry if you ever took that any other way other than that, because your dancing is amazing.
Oh, that's great. Now, what about for his family?
You did so great. You took care of me so well. Even though you
that was for them.
What was going on, you still took care of me so well. So he raises my bottle. He says, cheers.
What about Kathleen, the one posing the question?
He said, I love you so much, and I am still with you all the time. The next time you look at a fireplace, look at me. I'm in it. I'm in fire. I was fiery and passionate, and you love fire too. It's our thing.
Now, as long as he didn't go to hell, fire and brimstone, of course he didn't.
He said,
don't lose the thing.
Don't lose your fire, so it's like I am in that energy of the element of fire. So when she looks at fireplaces, for some reason, she feels warm and she feels him. And when she looks at like smoke and when she thinks of fire and things, there's something to do with fire.
Well, interesting. All right, so on YouTube Live, let's get two more here. Did you change my channels? Let me see, where was that? Last night, this is from Trans One. Did you change my TV channels last night?
He said, Erik said, would you believe me if I said you did?
Oh, with her mind? Oh, that's powerful.
So telepathy is this thing. It is actually very electrical, and it comes from a universe that Erik calls the electrical universe. And both he and Seth from Channeling Seth, those books, and Dolores Cannon teach me a lot about the different universes. So in the electrical universe, it operates from power of telepathy, and you're doing that now. That's your thing now.
Cool. So what can she do to strengthen this and to put it to good use?
He said, first of all, you gotta trust it. You can't put it to good use, telepathy, if all of it's coming and all of you are doubting it and criticizing it and saying, oh, that's just me making it up. That's just my head. That's what turns it off.
Oh, yeah.
So stop doing that. Don't doubt it. Because
just assume it's true. Just assume.
Well, and then, so what if it is? So what if it is your head? Isn't it still operating through a tool?
There we go. Just assume you're right on.
Start making assumptions in a positive way that it's working, and you will begin to trust, and you will know if it is your ego trying to make you astray. You will know that too.
Okay, one more from Sarah Ruiz. I'd like to ask Erik, do we speak, or do I hear my family and God, or am I going crazy? So is she able to listen to Erik, his family, and God? Of course you are.
He said, of course you are. And it can go in this way where you begin to feel responsible for them. So when you do that and you think you need to save them, when you think you need to convert them into understanding something different than what their conditions and paradigms are, then you, as God, become responsible for them, which, by the way, will make you crazy. So then things are happening with your mind that you're calling crazy. And if you keep calling it crazy, welcome to crazy.
Welcome to the world of cray cray. All right, guys, thank you so much. Please hit the subscribe button on my channel. I'm trying to get to 100,000. I don't know. I get a verification badge. I have no idea what that is, but it sounds important. Also, y'all check out Pamela. Pamela, give them your website and anything else you want to brag about, which you so justly deserve.
Oh, yeah. I don't like to do that. It's PamelaAralyn.com, AARALYN. You can find out everything you need to know there. And if you want classes and channelings for a much cheaper way, and if you want to work with me like in a much less expensive way, you can do that really cheaply on patreon.com/Pamela Aralyn.
Say that one more time.
Patreon.com.
Oh, Patreon. Okay. Awesome. Yes.
My channelings are, for those of you who know my channelings and my teachings and want to know more. But for private sessions, you can just get that at PamelaAralyn.com.
Okay, that sounds good. And y'all, wait, let me thank somebody. Okay, so y'all, thank you so much. I'm going to get it right next time. I'll just get Pamela. But I still want to figure it out. And
I can just walk you through it. It's so easy once you get it.
Yeah, I can figure it out. You're so busy. All right, I love you all, and I love you, Erik. Thank you, Pamela. Love you to death.
He said, don't forget 313. I'm going to show you tomorrow at 10 a.m. You be watching.
I will do it. 313. Already did write it down. All right, talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.